Hello there guys, and welcome back to this channel. Apologies that there's been no videos in about 2.5 months. I'm having a bit of a break from YouTube, but I am now back and we're ready to fire into videos once again. There's been quite a few things that have happened in non-league over the last 2.5 months. I'm going to crack into loads of different stories in the next few weeks. But the biggest one is an old friend of the channel, Glenn Tamplin. He's back involved in football at Romford FC. We're going to look at all of what's going on in this video. Before we start, this video has been kindly sponsored by our channel sponsors, OneFootball. There's lots of things included in this app, such as latest news from across the world, news that is tailored specifically to what you want to see, and the latest viral football videos. So Glenn Tamplin's been the owner of Billericay Town since 2016, but in September 2019 he decided that he didn't want to be there any longer. He was fed up of the abuse that he was getting, abuse that was directed towards his son in particular, Archie Tamplin, who is a 16-year-old that his dad has started to implement into the first team at Billericay. And you know, people say that this is nepotism and whatever. It's stuff that we've covered on the channel previously. I'll leave some links in the description to previous videos that we've done about Glenn Tamplin. But anyway, Tamplin left Billericay as owner, and it's really unclear whether he has left the club in a financial mess or not. It appears that he hasn't, because there's no real negative publicity of finances at Billericay. Tamplin though wasn't going to be out of football for long. He wanted to get back in and scratch that football itch. And less than 2 months after leaving Billericay, he had gone and purchased 8th tier side Romford. He reportedly been interested in some other clubs. The likes of Chelmsford were rumoured that he was looking at going and purchasing, but it was Romford in the end that he went for. The club sit bottom of the Bostik North, and as soon as he went in, he said that his aim was to try and get promotion, go from bottom to the top. It's an ambitious aim for a team that you're coming into sitting bottom of the table, and he instantly put down his mark on the team. He pretty much got rid of the entire squad. He got rid of the management team, brought himself in as manager, his own people around him, brought in a whole load of players. In fact, he's only actually been in charge so far for 6 matches and has made 37 signings already. That's a lot of players. It's a case of he's bringing in a lot of trialists, a lot of players in that don't really play very much, see if they're any good, and then just throw them out. That's already happened quite a lot. 15 of these players were brought in within the first 24 hours of him taking over at the club. But interestingly, none of these players really have been the calibre of some of those big Billericay signers, the likes of Paul Konchesky, Jermaine Pennant, Jamie O'Hara. There's not been that level of signing so far. There's been a couple of interesting big names, the likes of Adam Morgan, who used to play for Liverpool, Ryan Cresswell, who's made a few hundred appearances in the Football League, but these players generally are players that are on their way down. They're not players that are being plucked from high levels and are real good quality at high levels still. They are players that are really moving down through the leagues. Before Tamplin went there, the club was getting attendances around 60 to 80, but in his first game, there were 525 people in the ground. This was mainly because of Tamplin offering free entry and a free drink to anyone who went to that game. The game actually was held outside of Romford. They play in Brentwood, so that's a good few miles away from the actual town, and that's because the club doesn't currently have its own home, and that's another big aim that Tamplin wants to achieve, to bring the club back home. But anyway, that first match, Tamplin, although he was disappointed because they did lose the game was sort of covered on Sky Sports. There was a feature on Sky Sports News about this match. And he was just delighted that there were so many fans that went along to the game. Fast forward now to mid-January, and as I did touch on, there's only actually been 6 matches that he's been in charge of. There's been a lot of games called off due to waterlogged pitches, etc. But the games that they have played haven't gone particularly well. One game just after Christmas, they lost 6-0 away at Aveley, and all told, they still sit bottom of the Bostik North. They're no closer to moving up towards the promotion playoffs, but Tamplin has said on Twitter that he pretty much wants to win every single one of the remaining games this season, because he still has this aim of getting into the promotion playoffs. Through all of this, Glenn Tamplin has been as entertaining as ever on Twitter, as he always is, putting out lots of entertaining tweets. His son Archie has also been involved at Romford, but thankfully I don't think he's getting the same hate that he was getting unnecessarily at Billericay. In my opinion, and he's actually been coming in and getting involved in the team. And from what I'm hearing, he's actually playing pretty well, and he's got a decent future ahead of him. And genuinely, despite making so many videos about Glenn Tamplin and of covering that situation, I really do hope that he does make a success of his time at Romford, because regardless, at Billericay he's brought a lot of coverage to the National League South and Billericay themselves, and he's doing the same to Romford. And it is fascinating because of some of the ways that he goes about some things. I do really wish them all the best. They do go and succeed this season and beyond, and that regardless, it stays as entertaining as it has been so far, as a neutral looking from afar. But what are your thoughts on the situation at Romford and Glenn Tamplin getting back involved in football so quickly after leaving Billericay? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, remember to hit the like button and click subscribe as well to update with lots of videos coming in the next few weeks and months and beyond about non-league football. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.